Hello everyone, today our group will talk about the outcome-based curriculum, and this will presented by Lu Yanyang, Li Tingting, Liu Shuxin, Liu Yating, and Zhu Na. So this topic will have 7 parts to discuss. When we talk about the OBC, we need to mention that the OBE. So what is the OBE? The OBE is outcome-based education, and it will be defined as an approach to education in which decisions about the curriculum are driven by the outcomes. The learners should demonstrate on completion of the program, with the product defining the process. The educational outcomes are clearly specified from the beginning of the program, and the decision about content and how it's organized, educational strategies, teaching methods, assessment produced, and the educational environment are made in the context of the state learning outcomes, which means that the OBE emphasizes what we expect students will have achieved when they complete their courses. The learning achievements are not just the knowledge, rather they describe what learners are able to do with what they know. In recent years, China has carried out a series of in-depth reforms in the field of higher education, and the OBE concept is an impact of these reforms. Many universities have begun to adopt the OBE concept to improve curriculum settings, optimize teaching quality, and ensure that students have the necessary practical skills and professional qualities when they graduate. In particular, the OBE concept has been widely used in professional fields such as engineering education and medical education. So, what is the OBC? The OBC is outcome-based curriculum. It refers to an educational framework that focuses on the desired result or outcomes of the learning process. It's a student-centered approach where the primary goal is to ensure that students achieve specific learning outcomes by the end of a course or program. The OBE and the OBC have the strong connections about the concept and the practice. The OBE is a concept and education method, while the OBC is the specific practical of this concept at the curriculum level. The OBC is to achieve the goals of OBE by designing and implementing an outcome-oriented curriculum. About the level of implementation, the OBE is a more micro framework involving the transformation of the entire education system, while OBC is a specific method of implementing OBE at the specific curriculum level. About the interdependence, the OBC supports the effective implementation of OBE, while the OBC ensures that teaching content and activities can help students achieve specific learning outcomes, which in turn requires the concept of OBE to implement it at the curriculum level.
Hello everyone, I will introduce Part 2 core elements. This session includes 7 core elements. Okay, let's look at the first one, clear learning outcome. It refers to the clear, specific, and accurate definition of the expected goals and ability levels that students should achieve after completing the course, before the course is designed and implemented. It's a specific description of the knowledge, skills, attitudes that students can demonstrate after the learning. It means what students are able to do, what they know, or what abilities they have. The characteristics of the clear learning outcome is SMART. Specific, clear points out the specific knowledge and skills that students should master. Measurable, can be quantitatively or qualitatively evaluated through certain standards and methods. Attainable, learning outcomes should be achievable within the scope of students' abilities and course resources. Relevant, Learning outcomes should be relevant to the overall objectives of the course, professional requirements, and the students' future career development. Last one is time-bound. Generally correspond to the teaching cycle of the course. Clear stating the results that students should achieve at the end of the curriculum. The second one is reverse curriculum design. Reverse deduce the course content, teaching method, and assessment method from the expected learning outcomes. First, determine the ultimate goal and then think about how to help students achieve this goal. For example, if students are expected to have critical thinking skills, then the course content and practical activities need to be designed to cultivate them. The characteristics of the reverse curriculum design is the goal-oriented, with clear and specific learning outcomes as the ultimate goal. All teaching design and activities are closely centered around how to achieve these outcomes. Emphasize the pre-assessment. When designing a course, first consider how to assess whether students have achieved the expected outcomes, and then design the teaching process. The third one is the consistency between curriculum and learning outcomes. The content, teaching activities, and assessment method of the curriculum need to be closely aligned with the expected learning outcomes. And all teaching links should focus on how to help students achieve learning outcomes. For example, if the learning outcomes is that students can master basic skills about a programming language, then the course content and the teaching activities should include the basic of the programming language and practical programming exercise. The next is flexible curriculum structure. Since it's a process of working backward from the results, if it's found during the teaching implementation that some teaching method or content cannot effectively help students achieve the expected results, adjustment and improvements can be made in a timely manner. It means that curriculum is not static but dynamic. The next is continuous assessment and feedback. Teachers adopt diversity assessment method, including formative assessment and summative assessment, to comprehensive and objectively measure students' learning progress and achievement of the results, and provide timely feedback of the assessment results to students. The next is student-centered. Curriculum design focuses on students' learning needs, interests, and development. Teaching activities, resource, and assessment are all centered around students' learning outcomes. So we can, from the students' center, deduce the changing role of the teachers. The role of teachers has changed from traditional knowledge imparters to guide and facilities of the students' learning. Teachers helped students set learning goals, select learning resources, and provide feedback. So in conclusion, the core elements of the outcome-based curriculum are work together to achieve high-quality educational outcomes and cultivate high-quality people that meet social needs. That's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Liu Shuxi. My part is case analysis of outcome-based curriculum, educational physiology curriculum. The first part is learning outcomes. The outcome-based curriculum begins by clearly defining the learning outcomes. These outcomes should specify the skills, knowledge, and competencies students are expected to demonstrate. There have four outcomes. The first is we should understand key psychological theories relevant to education, such as Pickett's cognitive development theory. And then we should apply psychological principles to enhance teaching and learning. Then develop strategies for addressing psychological issues in classroom settings, such as student motivation, learning disabilities, and behavioral management. Then evaluate research and current trends in educational psychology to inform classroom practice. The second part is step is curriculum design. The outcome-based curriculum designed focus on ensuring that all instructional strategies and activities are aligned with the learning outcomes. For the content, the curriculum should cover topics like cognitive development, learning theories, motivation, behaviorism, assessment in education, and educational interventions for psychological challenges. The further instructional methods, the teaching strategies may include lectures, case studies, group discussions, role playing. These practical activities can help students to apply the theory to real-world scenarios. Then, for the technology integration, we can use digital tools like online simulations or educational psychology software to demonstrate theories and support active learning. Outcome-based curriculum emphasizes student-centered learning, encouraging active participation, critical thinking, and hands-on experience. So I will give 3 examples. The first is case study analysis. The students analyze real-world educational scenario to identify psychological issues and propose strategies based on psychological theories. Then the group project. Collaborative project where students design interventions or educational programs that address specific psychological needs in schools. Then the simulations or role playing. These activities that the students can act out teaching scenarios applying psychological principles to prove classroom dynamics. For the assessments, outcome-based curriculum requires assessments to be explicitly designed to measure whether students have achieved the learning outcomes. These assessments should be varied and provide opportunities for students to demonstrate their knowledge and skills in diverse ways. There have 3 assessment ways. The first is formative assessment. We can use quiz, online discussions, and reflection journals through the curriculum. This can help students understand and allow for feedback before the final assessment. Then the summative assessment, a final exam that includes both multiple choice questions and case study analysis. The third way is peer assessment. Students can provide feedback on each other's contributions in group work, developing critical evaluation skills. The last part is feedback and improvement. Continuous feedback from both students and instructors ensures the curriculum is meeting the intended learning outcomes and provides opportunities for ongoing curriculum refinements. We have two types of the feedback. The first is mid-course feedback. A non-meaning service to gather students' perspectives on the curriculum contents, teaching methods, and areas of difficulty along for adjustment. Then, the instructor feedback. Detailed feedback on assignments, quiz, and project to guide students improving their understanding and application of educational psychology. My part is finished.
Hello everyone, hello doctor, my name is Liu Yating and my part is advantage of the outcome-based curriculum. The first advantage is the outcome-based curriculum has a clear learning objective. Because the curriculum is results-oriented, so the curriculum is designed around clear learning outcomes, as well as the knowledge, skills, and attitude goals to be achieved after the course, helping to develop a clear learning and teaching plan. Teaching activities around the established goals and the needs of the industry docking. So it is usually connected with the industry, social needs, and academic standards to cultivate graduates with practical ability and academic potential. The second advantage of the outcome-based curriculum is this curriculum is designed in student-centered. The curriculum focuses on students' personalized learning, so the curriculum design can meet the different needs of students and encourage students to study independently and thinking creatively. The curriculum design emphasizes practical tasks to cultivate students' ability to solve practical problems, and the course is highly flexible. This means that the teaching strategy can be adjusted according to students' actual ability. This is to ensure that each student can achieve the desired goals. The third one is academic-centered design. This means that the curriculum design emphasizes the academic rigor, and students improve their academic ability through inquiry learning and critical thinking. It is emphasizes students' ability to apply it in practical situations rather than just memorizing theoretical knowledge. Promote the combination of the academic and practice. This can cultivate the practical ability on the basis of academic research to make sure students have more competitive in their future careers. And the fourth one is scientific evaluation method. This means that we can use continuous evaluation to check the learning progress through diversified evaluation methods, such as projects, papers, and case analysis, to reflect the students' real ability. These evaluation criteria are closely linked to learning results, which can comprehensively test the learning effectiveness of students. The evaluation methods not only focuses on students' process performance, but also emphasizes whether the students achieve the predetermined learning outcomes. The fifth advantage is stimulate learning motivation. To stimulate students' internal learning motivation through the connection between learning results and real life and career needs, and increase students' sense of achievement. Students can achieve a sense of achievement by achieving a clear achievement goals to maintain their interest in learning. And the last one is develop 21st century skills. Outcome-based curriculum focuses on developing interdisciplinary core competencies such as communication, teamwork, critical thinking, and problem solving. And it emphasizes the sustainability of learning outcomes and lays the foundation for students to adapt to future social change. That's all for this part. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Juna. Thank you for my partner. My part is the challenge of the strength faced by the outcome-based curriculum. Let's look at the challenge. The first one, contradiction between the outcome design and professional diversity. Colleges and universities cultivate a range of the subject area, and each match has its knowledge, thematical, and training goals. It can be difficult to design the learning course that bursts together, such as critical thinking, communication, and specialized, such as in engineering. The second one is the difficult to integrate and automate curricular thematical. University courses are usually provided to the multi-page development and dissipate, and they may be the locate of the contradiction between the difficult course. Result in the format students learning the outcome and make it difficult for the thematical knowledges. The third one is the insufficient thematical and audible nature of the evaluation method. The evaluation of the university course is then based on the final exam, whether OBC requires multi-dimensional assessment such as practical projects, emotion goals, traditional assessment, math don't reflect students' learning outcomes. And the first one is suffering the roles, the transformation and adaptabilities of the teaching. Members in college and university are focused on the thematical reach and are less involved in the teaching reform and the curricular design. Implemented an OBC requires teaching to the change role for the being knowledge is transmitted to the learning, but many teachers locate experience and training. The next one is the suffering students' engagement and learning autonomy. Some college students are accustomed to the time-oriented educational model, not independent learning ability and initiative find it difficult to adapt to the requirements of the OBC. Let's give you an example. If they played the classroom course in the college, it found that many students fail to the complete pre-studied text in the advice. So the classroom discussions was not effective. Last one is limited of research application and teaching knowledge support. Small and medium-sized university unable to provide suffering elementary increment of learning platform and data analyze the tools to support implementation of the OBC due to the funness and cheatiness constructs. Let's look at the second aspect, stress. The first one is the debate hackles and deploy the framework of the learning analyze. Develop the framework and the gene learning the outcome and the professional learning outcome based on the different objectives of the general and the perfect education. General outcomes such as curricular thinking, communication, and speak can be applied to all students. Perfect outcomes such as industrial skill are developed by the discipline according to the needs. For example, a university has established 3-level learning framework. School, college course to ensure the outcome at different level of the content. The second one is the automates curricular science and provides interdisciplinary integration, promotes the molecule design of the course and create flexible of the student's choice through the course model, elective course and core course. Establish interdisciplinary course such as artificial intelligence and social IS, and combat objectives of the different disciplines to cooperate interdisciplinary talent. For example, Pinko University mirrors and features society, cross-integrate computer, philosophy, and economic knowledge. And the third one is to introduce the diverse actionable assessment tools, develop practice assessment tools such as the design case studies, project-based learning presentation, introduce the combination of design assessment, peer assessment, and teacher evaluation to the improved comprehensiveness and the feel of the assessments. For example, a Hong Kong Policies University use a interface to record students' learning outcomes throughout the thematical and incorporation there into the final assessment. And the first one is the stress teaching and training and enhancing awareness of the teaching reform. carry out OBC special training, and invest educational experts, industrial professionals to the teaching, curricular development, and assessment semester. Teachers are encouraged to participate in the teaching, the research project, and the result of the teaching reform by the include evaluation correct for the prospect title. For example, Tsinghua University has the stand Teacher Development Center to provide teaching with the comprehensive support in the curricular design and teaching technologies. The next one is the motivate student to learn. It concludes cross-reliance contact in the curriculum to help students understand the importance of the learning outcome. Encourage students act, participate learning activities, read, scholarship, innovative completes, so on. For example, the South China University of the Technology has incorporated innovation ability into the learning outcome of the undergraduate and organized students to participate in the real entrepreneurial project. The last one increased research awards and technical support, provide construct of the smart campaign, use big data to analyze students' behavior, and automate the students' teaching and studying. School enterprise cooperation in the development labs and online platform to make up the locked resource. For example, the Shanghai Zhutang University has joined established the Vero spell experiment plan with to support motivate students carry out practice. That's all, thank you.
Okay, I will continue. The sixth part is the development of OBC, about future development of personalized learning. Through big data analysis, learning analysis tools, and intelligent recommendation systems, learning paths can be customized according to its students' learning process, interests, and needs. And then it can cultivation of interdisciplinary and comprehensive abilities. The curriculum design will no longer be isolated subject content, but will combine multiple fields to cultivate students' interdisciplinary qualities such as critical thinking, problem-solving ability, and innovation ability. It also can connection between social needs and education. The curriculum will place more emphasis on practicality and application, and cultivate graduates who can immediately enter the workplace. Internships, cooperative projects, and the participants of the industrial experts will become part of the curriculum, enabling students to connect and adapt to the actual work environment in advance during the learning process. Today, we talk about what is the OBC and how to practice, and the advantages and the challenges of the OBC and the future development of the OBC. We know that the outcome-based curriculum has lots of advantages, and at the same time, we also need to know it also face some challenges. So as a teacher, we need to have a correct view of OBC. We need to shift from knowledge transfer to learning achievement and pay more attention to students' ability cultivation and personalized development. We also need to actively adjust teaching method, reflect on and improve our own practice, and ultimately help students achieve the expected learning outcomes. That's all. Thank you.